शब्द बिना सारा जग अंधा, काटे कौन मोह का फंदा। शब्द बिना सारा जग अंधा, काटे कौन मोह का फंदा। शब्द बिना बिरथा सब तंदा, शब्द बिना बिरथा सब तंदा। शब्द बिना जीव बंधन बंधा, शब्द बिना जीव बंधन बंधा।
Welcome seekers to today's spiritual satsang, titled The Significance of a Guru or Master in the Spiritual Path. I have with me is the Asia's main speaker, who is an advanced disciple of a perfect living master. In this episode, we will be covering the topic of the importance of a guru or master for us seekers on the spiritual path. So the concept of being ignorant, that means even if you're telling me that something higher exists and I am an ignorant being, but I want to go and find what is there in store for me, the next level. How do I do it without another person telling me the instruction? For example, in most cases, there's this term guru or master. How does one transcend to higher knowledge with or without a guru? Do you have what's your view on this?
Okay. Right. So, that's true, yeah. The point you made that the true gurus is inside. So, even perfect living masters, they always said like the true gurus is from inside. Okay, let me tell you one of the story about Baba Fakishan. Baba Fakishan was a perfect living master in India. And during that time, he was serving the army. And at that time, he has a lot of disciples, but he's still working in the army. And during the war time, there was 3 disciples. They have been cornered by enemies at the point that they think, okay, this is going to be last moment of my life. So those 3 disciples, they just sit down and start to meditate and thinking of the perfect living master, of their guru. So when they start to meditate, then Baba Fakishan appear to them and say to them, you won't die today. Look into behind of those bush, and there is a tunnel. You can go inside that tunnel to come back to the base. So therefore, they're very glad, that master tried to point that out. So they take the tunnel, come back to the base. And when they come back to the base, they run back to the physical master, to Baba Fakishan, and bow down to his feet, crying, saying that, Master, you saved our life. You appeared to us in critical time. You told us that's a hidden tunnel that we can come back to the base. We are very grateful that you saved our life. And then Baba Fakishan, the physical master, just say, what? I don't know what you mentioned. I don't know what you are talking about. Me, I'm at the base here. I'm very scared myself. Why are you saying this? the point I try to say to you is that, the real master, they appear inside, and also they are here in the physical form, in the limitation, just like us. If the real master is the totality of the consciousness, the highest power that from God, from our true origin, from the origin of our soul. So they are being like an ocean of love, infinite ocean of love, and infinite power of blessing. But when they are incarnate or born in human form, they also limit like us. So they are the drop from the ocean, just like us. So therefore, Baba Fakishan talking about from the perspective of the drop. But those three disciples, they refer to the inner master that have saved them, the manifest himself in front of them in the meditation and try to point out the way out for them. So therefore, that inner master is the manifestation directly from the ocean, from the infinite ocean of love, also called totality of consciousness. So here, I will answer your point that people try to say like, okay, if I have the greatness inside me, then I can realize this greatness inside me without other people telling me what to do. Yes, the true spiritual path is to find who you really are inside yourself, your inner ultimate self. So therefore, yes, we all have capacity to access to that ultimate inner self. But how can you tell if you're talking to your mind and that inner self that you discover is of your mind, or therefore still being the drop, just like you? How you sure that you going inside and activate into the totality of consciousness and activate into the awareness of the whole ocean? So therefore, we need somebody come into physical form to give us confirmation that you already reach awareness of the totality of consciousness or the awareness of the ocean of love during that time. So having the physical master is go hand in hand with the having inner master as well, because between the two, between the inner master and the physical master, they're into the connection where they can cross-check, whether the person really talking from the mind, from the ego point of view, or talking from the God point of view, of the soul level. So they can tell us directly. So therefore, the true master, the perfect living master, they're not here to teach us anything or point us to any higher teaching. They are here just like example for us to know that they are just like God walking on earth, because they carry that kind of consciousness, the awareness of the totality, the awareness of the ocean, the awareness of that infinite power, but working in the character that we can feel relate to in our limitation. So therefore, yes, having a perfect living master in the physical form is necessary. you can't follow this kind of past master. Even the teaching is really great, but you don't have example that you feel relate to in the physical life, in your day-to-day life. Then if you don't have that, then, sometime or a lot of time, you'll be victim of your mind, your ultimate ego that grow inside you, and thinking that you reach the greatest height in your physical or spiritual attainment.
I guess the next question would be, how does one find a perfect living master?
That's a good question, but I would say that you will never ever find a perfect living master, because they know very well that they are perfect. That's why they don't need to pretend to be somebody great here in this physical form, because they are the greatest. So therefore, they try to be normal, even normal than normal people. They have to try to blend in and being among us, so that we can feel connection with them. We can be friends with them, and ultimately, they can be a good example and give us the direct access to the awareness that they have, that they carry with them. So, just like I have one story about a Zen monk, and this particular Zen monk, he's very famous in China. He has many monk disciples. So, he would spend many years meditating on his own on the top of the mountain. So one day, he feels that he has reached the highest attainment that he can have in his meditation. So he very excited to reveal this to his disciple, to his monk disciple. So he designed the next day he gonna go and visit his disciple in the town. So the next morning, he descended from his mountain into the town. So at the foot of the mountain, he found that all of his disciples standing there waiting, with all the villagers coming to greet him. And he just think to himself, okay, if people know that I'm gonna come without telling them, does it mean that I'm not that advanced yet? Because they can know what I think, that I'm gonna come into the town today. So therefore, they're still thinking that I am good. So I'm still thinking that I am great. So therefore, that's not what he seek. What he seek in his ultimate enlightenment. So he go back to the top of the mountain and leave everybody. So this story just to tell you, when you reach the highest attainment on this spiritual path, you have to become normal again. You have to become, more normal than normal human being, at the point that nobody pick up that you are special. Because if you still project that kind of special energy from you for other people to pick up, it means that you're not that special. The special the speciality of the perfect living master is that they can describe perfectly well at the point that you can't use your wisdom eye to see who they are if they're not, if it's not in their will for you to know. They just become like a very ordinary person. But in your heart, you have the feeling that they are special, but you can't make out why. You can try in every way, try to find how special they are. And if they don't want to, they will never ever show that to you. Only because it's not their purpose to come to show to show that they are special. Because in their heart, everybody is as special. And they are here to show you the connection that you can get back to God by come into very ordinary connection in human form. But that human form is different from you, that they have the awareness. They have the awareness of every level at the same time. They have the awareness of God, of the totality, unlike you. Like you still operate in the ignorance and try to find the way back to your own true origin.
Because it's not every day that you get to meet a perfect living master. So as a true seeker, right, what do you need to do? Is there anything that you need to do, to seek high truth? Can you just, attend mindful subjects, for example? Or is there something else that you can do?
Right. Okay, I will give you the example of my mother. She was born in like a very remote village in the north of Thailand. So therefore, in her village, they practice ancestral worship. So from young age, she questioned, is that the way for human to find the truth? Then later on in life, she tried to practice meditation instructed by local temple. And she has found that in the community, still, people still have jealousy, still have, upsetting and angry heart. Then she feel like, it might not be the way of the true spirituality. Then she continued seeking of what is better for her and what is make more logical sense to her. Then she come across the teaching of Supreme Master Xinghai. And she read the book of Supreme Master Xinghai, saying that, there are masters in the world. And this master can give you instant enlightenment. So therefore, my mother want to know, what is instant enlightenment? Okay, if this master can offer that to her, then she's willing to try. Then the condition is that, you have to keep strict precepts. You have to turn to be vegan, which is kind of unheard of in my Theravada Buddhism culture, which the monk and the nun in the main temple, they're still eating meat. But she had the feeling that, I'm willing to try anything because she's already tried whatever offer in the culture, whatever offer in the temple and the ashram, and it didn't work for her. So therefore, she spent some time to transform herself of keep strict precepts like the 5 precepts, especially the first precept, no killing, right? And become vegan. After that, she has found that, oh, okay, her personality start to change. She become less angry. She become less connect with this material world. So therefore, she feels like, okay, if this is the higher teaching, it can help me remove the attachment of my emotion, of my mind, of the world. So therefore, this teaching helping her. But because she can't have access to Supreme Master Xinghai that much, so therefore she's not witnessed yet what is perfect living master in human form, like they said. So therefore she's continue seeking. One day, Ishwapuriji accept our invitation to go to Thailand to see me and my family, and also seekers there. So Ishwapuriji came one day, and we organized a satsang in Thai at that time. So I introduced Ishwaji to my family. Even my mother, she cannot speak in English to Master at that time. So she just sit there in the lecture hall, staring at Master, and and she said, I couldn't believe that that's a human being like us, but have that kind of pulling power. She feel like she's just sitting there, overwhelming of the power of love that projects from the master, and that feeling is very pulling for her. And when master finished the satsang, then I introduced my mother personally to Ishwarji. So right away, without asking, my mother just opened her hand and hugged master. And she said, at that time, I don't know what is in me. I cannot help myself. I'm just feel like, I'm just want to hug him. I just want to have, witness that kind of love that suddenly only meet up with an ordinary man. I feel that I'm being complete, being touched by divine love that I never feel in my life before. I only heard in the book, in the scripture, from Supreme Master lecture that such unconditional divine love is real. But because Ishwapuriji decided to come to Thailand, so my mother had chance to witness that kind of love can be in human form. And therefore, she said, I want to get initiation from Ishwapuriji because I know that, I have very strong affinity with Master. I know now that this kind of love can manifest in human being. And if I connect with the inner Master, that after initiation from Ishwapuriji, then I can manifest that kind of love properly inside me by using this inner Master as the means to connect with that kind of divine love. So after initiation from Ishwapuriji, she said, my life has been transformed. I couldn't believe that. She said, the feeling of hugging, that she opened her hand at that day, hugging the Master, and the Master in physical form hugging her back. She said that immense feeling of love always stays. after initiation, and this kind of feeling is transformed me. My mind is not my mind anymore. My mind is as if the mind of the master that operates inside me. And my feeling also transformed. She said she used to feel like ordinary person, have a lot of worry, have a lot of kind of angry, upsetting feeling. She said after that, she feel whatever comes into her life. She said it's fine, it's gonna be okay. It's as if she have that kind of like supportive feeling inside her, that thinking, oh, doesn't matter, everything is okay, because I carry God's love with me. So why should I worry about anything or be emotional with anything in my life? And when she realized that this kind of love or master power operate inside her, can be operate inside her 24/7, if she let go of her character, then now she just really, embracing it. She really live a carefree life and become really like a happy, radiant lady. So whoever come into connection, they will say to me, oh, there's immense change in your mother. And they don't know why, that my mother already been initiated by Perfect Living Master. But they can say that she just turned like from one ordinary character to be a godlike character, that being among ordinary people, they pick up her energy, they pick up her love, but they don't know why. They don't know her secret.
That's an amazing story that you just shared. So I guess in summary to this topic, even if you have not met a perfect living master, or you think that you have met a perfect living master, I would say go with your seeking and go with the pool of love, because I think the mind can sometimes deceive you, but the soul never lies. The pool of love is something that you can always use as a counter check to see whether the person that you're attracted to in the spiritual sense is actually a true spiritual practitioner, or somebody put in that place to actually guide you along to higher spiritual truth. Okay, so in closing, is there any other points that you might want to add?
I just want to tell all the brother and sister that listen to this, just try your best. Always searching for something better from inside, your feeling will tell if this thing is good for you or not. If you already practice whatever available for you at that time, and you feel like, oh, okay, this is not for me yet, I can practice this to get me to this point. So if you already feel like you surpass that kind of practice already, then continue seeking. Just like my mother, she's always have like a bigger question in her heart, like, okay, what is good for me? What is best for me? What gonna make me better? What gonna lead me to the ultimate? Even she have no idea what it is, but because she wants to improve herself at all times, so in her mind, she's very passionate, seeking about what is better for her, even on this spiritual part, the path of the ultimate truth. Then one day, when you are seeking, it's really immensely inside you. Perfect Living Master, they pick that up. They're hearing this. So they will answer your call, your seeking. One day, by coincidences, by miracle, they will appear into your life. Then the one who seeks the truth will recognize the truth in human form, just like my mother. Like she's seeking that kind of love because she feel like, okay, when I go to different groups, they're lacking of love. Just like she went to in ashram, she found that, oh, there's a lot of political thing going on. People gossip and criticize other people. So it must not be, the part of the ultimate then, because they're still, very human. After they practice the teaching of the Buddha, then she continues seeking to find, okay, if the teaching in the book is not working, I need somebody to guide me, in human form. I need to seek a teacher, that can tell me directly. So she go to Supreme Master Ching Hai, right? But unfortunately, she doesn't have much affinity with Supreme Master Ching Hai, that she cannot come into direct connection. And later on, when Ishwapuriji came, then she had that hug. She said, oh, that hug of love just changed my life completely. And she said, yes, whoever you are, just continue seeking just like me. So one day, the truth in human form will come to you and confirm to you, that this is worthwhile of the journey of the seeking. No matter background it is. My mother cannot even listen to Ishwapuriji talk directly because she's not good in English. So whatever she heard is second hand. So I have to translate the teaching of the master to her. So she's one of the encouragement why I start ISTA Thailand, because she's just really bugging me, want to know what master talk, what does it mean? Can you talk to me in Thai? Can you translate in Thai? So one day I just talked to my father, and my father said, okay, let's make video for her in Thai, according to what master teaching, and for mother to listen to. So she's the one who benefits from all the Thailand, ISTA Thailand videos, because she listened to those over and over. So I feel like, yes, just continue seeking, master always hearing you. If they are operate from God level, and they are our ultimate self, that one day, because you have faith that you will find something better and better for you, and one day the best thing can happen in your life for you to go back to your true origin, for you to go back to your true home. You don't even need to speak the same language as the master, because love is just like magic, right? When you see a loving person, you don't even need to speak to them to convince yourself that, oh, this is a really loving person. In your heart, you pick it up. So therefore, doesn't matter where you start. The goal, our final journey is the same.
That's it for today's satsang. Thank you, main speaker, for spending time with us for this satsang. If you want more information about ISTA Asia, please go to www.istaasia.com. You may also subscribe to our newsletter or email us any inquiries you may have regarding spirituality. Thank you for listening.